While Disney and Universal roll out the rainbows this month in Central Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis has taken a stand, declaring June to be Faith and Family Month in the Sunshine State. Will Disney and Universal actually respond to this? Let's talk about it today on That Park Place. Vash, June has become a big month in these theme parks because, you know, the Disney and Universal both roll out the, they both roll out the rainbow carpet for Pride. Disney paints these murals up. Now, Universal doesn't do as much. Universal just has merchandise, but they have a lot of it. I was in the Universal stores the other day. Jay, Drunk 3PO, and I were in the gift shops, and we were looking at, it's all the same Pride stuff from last year, basically. It's all just stuff they didn't sell. But they have their Love is Universal collection that they roll out every June. And it's actually really funny. Like, in one of them, it was like, they had all the rainbow stuff, and one of the mannequins was in a wheelchair.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
It was just like, well, we're really cornering the gay crippled market on this one, aren't we, Universal?
That is really something right there.
Well, what's funny was Jay and I were looking at the merchandise, and I realized because we were there for Jay's event to see He-Man, and so we were both wearing our 9-line He-Man shirts. And I said to him, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a step away because I don't want us both to be looking together at Pride merchandise while we're wearing matching shirts. And he was like, yeah, it's probably a good idea.
That's not bad. No.
So, as Disney and Universal celebrate Pride Month, Ron DeSantis declares June Faith and Family Month in Florida. Now, we've seen a lot of pushback from a lot of states on Pride Month in recent years, and let's take a look. The proclamation signed on June 8th emphasizes faith, fatherhood, family unit, and the importance of strong family structures, while encouraging residents, churches, businesses, and community organizations to participate in activities that strengthen families and local communities. The declaration comes as both Disney and Universal continue to embrace Pride Month through themed merchandise, special offerings, and corporate messaging aimed at guests and employees. In the proclamation, DeSantis argues that faith and family serve as foundational pillars for healthy communities and successful societies. It says in the official proclamation, it says, quote, faith is a foundational element that provides strength, hope, and moral guidance, shaping values of compassion, service, responsibility, and unity within our communities. The Christian faith has played a vital role in constructing our Constitution, laws, and ideals. The document also places strong emphasis on the traditional family structure, specifically referencing what it describes as the importance of the biblical family. Quote, the biblical family unit became the initial God-ordained earthly institution, providing the model for a thriving society, fostering the emotional, social, and spiritual development of individuals, and serving as the cornerstone for building strong, resilient, and thriving communities. The proclamation repeatedly highlights the role fathers play within families, arguing that fatherhood remains a critical component in the development of children and future generations. Says fatherhood plays an influential and irreplaceable role within families, significantly impacting the emotional, spiritual, and social well-being of children and future generations through love, wisdom, protection, and guidance. Now, of course, at the same time, it arrives as Disney and Universal are devoting substantial attention to Pride Month throughout June. Obviously, while it's not a Disney-specific event, there will be the Gay Days event is going forward, I believe, this year. It seemed like it wasn't going to, and then they found a new sponsor, right, Vash?
I had heard something to that effect. I mean, the big thing about Gay Days is obviously it's unsanctioned by Disney, and usually they have ancillary events that take place alongside it. I don't know how many of those ancillary events are actually going to take place this year, but you know, obviously people can still wear red on that same day and so forth. Now,
yeah, no, Culture already has his red shirt picked out for this year. So,
oh, does he really? Well, in Disneyland, obviously, you have Pride Night, which takes place, I believe, in June as well. So you've got some stuff going on right there. Right. But this is very, very interesting.
I'm honestly shocked that Walt Disney World has never rolled out the hard ticket event Pride Night the way Disneyland has it.
I just don't know how well supported it would be. And I think from
I think it would be hugely controversial. That does and I wouldn't, you know.
Right. So
I'm not saying they should do it. I'm just saying I'm surprised they didn't.
Right. I kind of agree with you actually, but I maybe it's the assessment of maybe this isn't like the best look, especially with the issues going on with the governor right, at the time, because I think the first Pride Night was 2022, which is when this was taking place, right?
I think it's also a matter of Walt Disney World is a global vacation destination. Disneyland is really not. Like Disneyland is for a lot of it is for California locals who are, let's face it, pretty gay. You know, like maybe the families coming over from the Middle East, for example, aren't gonna enjoy, you know, seeing like being told they have to leave Magic Kingdom at 4 p.m. on that day because they have to do a hard ticket event.
Yeah, so from Disney's standpoint, it's kind of like, you know, is it worth it to necessarily go down this specific route in this vacation destination? Perhaps that was a calculation that Disney made, and it was like, you know what, we're just going to go ahead and keep it at Disneyland. Possible.
So it says Disney has spent years promoting Pride-themed merchandise, rainbow-inspired products, employee initiatives, and special Pride offerings throughout its parks and resorts. The company's also publicly supported various causes and events, making Pride Month a consistent part of its corporate messaging. Now, I will say, in recent years, Disney has not really rolled out Pride Month as heavily as it used to.
Yeah,
it used to do a lot more, and like so, even like the Epcot mural that we saw up here. This used to be pretty pretty in your face, and it's like now it's like off in the corner now, over by the restaurant. So I feel like they're not doing nearly as much as they used to. I haven't seen yet the one on the purple wall this year, but that one's always there. But yeah, they put these murals out, and I'm not sure if they're gone by the 4th of July, but they might be gone by the 4th of July.
Right, and I think that might have something to do with maybe diminishing merchandise, right, and or merchandise sales, I should say, in which, you know, a lot of the stuff ends up at discount, you know, places anyway. So it's kind of like, okay, well, do we heavily invest in it? Understanding that dynamic that's actually going on. I believe Pride Night started in 2023. I do apologize, but that's the thing, Marvin. When this was the crux of the issue with the whole battle with Ron DeSantis. And so it's kind of, I think from the company standpoint, it's like, well, let's not get into any culture war stuff again, because I mean, that undid Chapek, right? So I think everybody kind of recognizes the fallout that took place at that time. And perhaps that's what Ron DeSantis is also understanding in the lead up to, I mean, obviously we have, you know, some things happening in the political sphere right now. I don't want to go ahead and use the words here unless YouTube, you know, is not happy. But obviously, you know, Ron might be making some inroads down that route as well, given that it was so politically advantageous when he originally did that. So there's a lot of dynamics playing out here, I think.
Now, a story that I had written for the website back in 2024, back before I was even editor-in-chief, was that the cast member connection store was overflowing with unsold rainbow merchandise. This was in August of 2024. That and Wish. We saw these, they were heavily discounted all over the place. So they're not really I honestly think that the pullback from the Pride stuff it's a lot of, look, these are all full boxes full of these lounge flies that went completely unsold. These R2D2, R3, RN8W, because it says, you know, like rainbow or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. So these things aren't selling as well as they used to.
Right. And so if there's diminishing enthusiasm for this kind of stuff, maybe that's why, Marvin, that you know, Universal and maybe Disney themselves have kind of taken this, they pulled back a little bit because really the audience has, right? Yeah,
absolutely. Universal Orlando has similarly embraced Pride celebrations through events, partnerships, and promotional efforts as part of its Love is Universal campaign aimed at guests and communities. Now, it says, while Pride Month remains a major focus for both companies during June, DeSantis' proclamation represents a markedly different message centered on faith, fatherhood, marriage, and family unity. So it's two polar opposites, right?
Right.
The contrast between Florida's largest tourism companies and the state's political leadership is now difficult to ignore. And nobody's saying Disney's going to have, you know, faith and family merchandise this year. I mean, merchandise takes months and months and months to put together.
Absolutely.
And, you know, this just happened. So it says, while Disney and Universal use June to spotlight Pride celebrations, DeSantis' proclamation encourages Floridians to focus on faith-based organizations, family-centered activities, parental involvement, and strengthening relationships among family members. The proclamation states that the objective of faith, family, and fatherhood initiatives during June is to support families through events and opportunities that educate, inform, and strengthen relationships. It also says families who actively practice their faith and spend meaningful time together are shown to be less likely to experience abuse, addiction, fatherlessness, or family instability, and are more likely to contribute to safer, stronger, and more productive communities. So this also, showcases not just, like fathers and whatnot, but it's also the relationships between husbands and wives, parents and children, and grandparents and grandchildren. So it's really like embracing the family aspect here. And this is coming at a time also where Pride has come under a lot of fire in recent years, Ash, because of child involvement in a lot of these events. Now, we have seen some downright inappropriate things. We have seen people marching in Pride parades fully nude. And, or very, very close to it in a lot of cases. And children are sitting there in the crowd and they're waving at the kids and they're handing them stuff. Like, there are whole videos on YouTube where it gets called out. We have seen people with the dog masks on at like the side of the road having kids like pet them on the head. It gives me the chills just to even say it. So DeSantis is countering that with talking about, and we've seen like a number of other, like I've heard other states have made Nuclear Family Month. I've heard in other state, it's also Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, which, Microsoft of all companies actually acknowledged last year and got so much blowback from the rainbows, like so much.
Well, I mean, I guess the fervor surrounding this was much more extensive back a year ago than maybe perhaps it is today, which is a very interesting dynamic playing out. You'll remember, Marvin, that also too, I think Disney got called out on their participation and their financing of some of these events nationwide. Actually, at the shareholders meeting, if I'm not mistaken, it was one of the propositions that was actually brought up. So there have been people that have expressed, both sides really, but some frustration at the company's stance on this, especially in key markets and everything like that. And with that diminishing enthusiasm from maybe merchandise sales and so forth, I think that the company is kind of shifted a little bit. And so when Ron DeSantis, comes out and has this big proclamation, it certainly he is saying many statements right there, but I think that from the company standpoint, it's like, okay, well, obviously this is a big issue for DeSantis, and well, better to be on good terms than bad. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And Vash, we used to see all these companies like changing their profile pictures on social media leading into this. I'm looking right now. Disney, no. Disney Parks, no. Let's see, Microsoft. Microsoft, no. What are some of the big? Target was one that was really big. They're not doing it.
Well, remember, Target got they got
destroyed.
Real hit hard,
destroyed.
Right, for some of those children issues that you actually talked about before. So that's I'm sure weighing in the company's mind as well. Go ahead,
Vash. Not even Halo.
Wow.
Halo, which has been, the gayest thing ever for so long. Like, not saying that like Halo as like the game itself is gay, but like Halo has embraced Pride so much in recent years. I have like Xbox, just in general. No, not even Xbox.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting because some of these companies that you're showing on the screen right there would not only have rainbow colored icons, right? But it's kind of funny because their Middle Eastern divisions wouldn't at the same time, which I thought was really interesting. Yeah. But the other thing that's playing out here, Marvin, is we're coming off of obviously the 2024 election. I think that was a big wake up call to a lot of companies about some of these things, and especially as it concerns DEI, which obviously the administration has taken very stern tact on that. So it's kind of like, okay, well, if the country shifted, we'll shift, and it'll alleviate us of a lot of these concerns, whether it be on a state level or on a federal level, which I think is very, very interesting. That might shift again, given this next election cycle. We're not sure, but it is profound how much of a swing we've seen here.
Well, and look at this. So look at this. Xbox. I did a search for Pride on Xbox's thing. 2022, they had this Pride Has No Limits commercial. 2024, they had the Together We Could Create a More Inclusive Gaming World. It's Pride Month. And then after that, nothing this year. Xbox has not, and you know, the 2020, they did this, you know, like it was, we aim to create safe spaces in gaming where everyone is invited to play as their authentic self. Join us in celebrating the communities this Pride Month and beyond. Like it is, yeah. Xbox has yet to, and I wonder if that is because Xbox is under like completely new management now. Like Xbox has new leadership right now, and you know what else? You know what other company has new leadership is Disney.
Well, I mean, a couple of times, right? Ever since the big dust up in 2022. So we've seen, obviously, Chapek switched out. That's how he lost his position right there. But also Bob Iger, he had to deal with the fallout of Reedy Creek and everything that actually happened there. And now Josh Giamaro. So we've had a couple of different institutions there, or administrations, take the seat there. And it's very interesting about Josh Giamaro because I keep getting this from multiple sources, multiple regions, multiple places. He's very optics focused. He does not want these controversies stymieing the company in its efforts. And I think that's also playing a part in this, to your point there, Marvin.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there you have it, Vash. Pride Month in Disney and Universal now has some competition in the form of the Florida government with Faith and Family Month. Whether or not we'll see these companies embrace that in the future is anybody's guess. But this month, you know, we're going to be seeing rainbows until the 4th of July. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens, whether this will be another clash between Florida and the Walt Disney Company.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.